So everything will be starting in a moment. I am mostly recovered, and I got like a shit ton of work done after the emergency yesterday was resolved. So, uh, yeah. Give me a moment to get everything sorted. Okay, I should just be about ready to uncardboard myself. Grab my headphones. And let's get this started. Well, it's gonna be a thing, especially since I have some ideas that I want to um consider for how I want to handle um things going forward. Wait, why am I not uncardboarded? Oh god damn it again. Blah, 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 blah. What I need this done. Good. There we go. I'm uncardboarded. Finally. Blah 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 blah. Let's get things. Free. Hey, okay. Let's get things started. I have no idea what's up with this. Say with. What's the status of the last update? Does that say 86? It does. Oh yeah, it's the event. So. Oh, hey, that's right. That's the wrong thingamajig. Okay. Okay. Ow. Taken. 8 point. Okay. Bleh. Okay. So I think the fact that we're in an activity will make this a surprisingly good point to transition to my future plans. Everything is falling into place perfectly. Your magic comes easily to you. And okay. Oh wait, I forgot I don't have my chat open. But I am live, right? Yes, I am indeed live. I'm all the way live. Okay. Okay. Uh, I'm judging against us scuttling across the deck with a sudden energy. Magic begin with the deck behind intricate dollars of power as they against reality. Okay. 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 Um. Your own power built upon this foundation. Like dominoes set to like an intricate mechanism. Now your slightest um uh Uh. Your own power build. Your power build. Hey Zed, how you doing? My brain is semi-functional. Let's see. I want to try something. What I have? I'm gonna my backup pair of glasses for a while today. That always feels a bit weird. Your power built upon the foundation of the intricate first. Ooh, nice. Action. To any that could sense magic. The power was like seeing over your. Nice. What do you plan on What do you plan on doing at the mall? Nice. Sounds good. Your own power built upon this foundation like an intricate mechanism that would come crashing down at the slightest action. To any that could sense magic, the power was like seeing a great weight hoisted over your head. The other. Yeah. For me, getting to a mall is like 15 minutes minimum, and that's like I have to cycle down a road and then go quite a ways. And the better mall is like a good half an hour off. Hmm. Uh, your own power built upon thunder. The other ship continued to approach. And now that it was closer, you could properly make out people on board. Unlike, say, they wore no uniform that you were. They wore no uniform that you were. They were that you were familiar with. I'm milled about the deck in fashion. They wore no uniform, but milled about the deck in a fashion that um military to military training to you. There was no as the distance closed between you and the other ship, you could sense magic beginning to stop. Several practitioners around deck completed gales and their sails were full of wind that yours were not. It was when several began to gather about the crowd and began performing some ritual around the crowd and began performing some sort of ritual around the jewel encrusted head. Sensing the breakdown of you called up in every language asking what their intentions as the distance closed between Okay. Sensing the breakdown of any diplomatic endeavor. I begin. So you pull. So you launch your attack. Say the streamers of flame that streamers of flame that spilled into your smash into clusters of warriors that you can see. Okay. Okay. That you can Let's see. Almost immediately. The aura of wind the thing begins to die down. I'm gonna merge these two. At some point. I guess that's something I'll do tomorrow. Uh, 6, 7. Seven, 9. Oh wait, no, it's I also need to give you Yanqing. Okay. 7, 9, 10, 13, 16, 20, 23. Mm, 35 dice. Uh, um, mana, so, magic surge. It's about wow, the ship. Um, storm. Confined to a small area. For a moment, it seems as though the uh, uh, okay. It seems from it seems as though the sheer power would be enough to deflect the spears headed for the cadre of, god damn it, I want to ban user. Magic surges about the prow of the ship, a rolling storm confined to a small area. For a moment, it seems as though the ship power would be enough to deflect spears um, headed for the cadre of mages at the front of the ship. But we the shifting and blur and bending shifting and bending as the spears push through. But your accumulated power proves it greater. It appears through the still forming ritual. Um, um, the world seems the entire ship shakes under you as enormous gust of wind and bottle, bursts out from the failed containment. The ship rocks under your feet. As the ship steadies, you can make out people. Uh, as a ship servicing people, the so you can make out the crew of the other ship rambling to their feet. Unfortunately, their their warship is a more proves more stable than your merchantman, and before long, there are a number of try and get them before they make it aboard. A number of people already on there. Already moving towards animated rope, not unlike the threads, say the what do you call it? Animated rope, not unlike the webbing. You see the extending wire. You built animated chains. Chains, not unlike built for Jing. Spans the gap between your ships and the enemy warrior. Warrior. Begin. Focus on getting your own. Ooh, nice. Forces. Focus on getting your own forces back on their feet. Right. And then we and then we were crossing the gap with an ease that suggests with the ease with a supernatural ease. You command Yan. Yes, it is a normal stream. You command Yanjing to sever the lines, but even the razor wire leaves only scratches. That leaves only nicks and scratches on the wires, so on the chains. Try and get them. Yeah, normal stream. What? Rabio spelling grammar easily. Mechanism on. Good stuff. About. Host. Oh wait, hold on, I forgot. Nice. A/N VOD here. YouTube.com/watch. https:// what? There we go. Much better. Okay. So one thing that you really should familiarize yourself is with like proper low-level JavaScript. They're probably going to teach you some bullshit, but actually knowing what everything is based on is really important. And this isn't just me saying it, though it kind of is. But properly understanding the core toolset that is available to you on every platform is going to be immensely useful, because like every single layer of bloatware you add over top of what is available on every browser. Yeah, so JavaScript, HTML, CSS, those are all fairly standard things. Maybe like go find a site that you like the look of that has some features that are neat. Then you can just go right click, inspect, and you can see the entire HTML and CSS for how things are styled. And you can get an idea of how all those work. If this work, say every browser has some version of that. Uh, 10 seconds to that. Okay, so arrows flew through the slats of the what's it called? Mott. Bailey. I think it's just gatehouse. Gatehouse. Piercing into the vampires within. As spells flew to attempted to retaliate. After a moment, things grew silent as they attempted to work out a way to make their way. Jin pulled out. Up to the gate. Some bundles in his hands. You may want to stand. Now carrying a large slung focusing E. Okay. focusing. He stabbed his arm and wooden. The yep. And the wooden. The larger geeks barring depends a lot on the USB port in question and what you're charging with it. For like my phone, for example, I've plugged it into the primary USB-C port on my computer, which means that it gets fairly high power delivery. I think it's like some 30 watts or something. Which compared to what like a normal outlet can do is much better. I think actually it might be more than 30 watts. But if I plugged it into another outlet on my phone, it will only be limited to like 5 watts or something like that, much lower. So it varies a lot. I need to know which what the USB port situation is and what the alternatives are to say whether it's a good idea or not. Now further entry. Where the next. Please. Ooh, I didn't see this art piece. That looks really nice. Though the girl looks quite bored. I'm not sure if that's intentional. You can drop it in. Oh, you put drop it in general. Oh, okay. That will heavily depend on how many things you have plugged into the hub, because a lot of these will just have like what it will just draw whatever power it can from the cable and then spread it across everything plugged into the hub. Yeah. But yeah, it depends heavily on the specific this say how many things you have plugged in. I mean, it's really just like what are you going to use it for? Are you going to like keep stuff plugged in while you are while you're using it, and it's just like one thing gets used at a time, or is it like you're charging stuff overnight, or is this you have like a few things that you need running all the time on your desk or whatever? So yeah. Yeah, you're charging. If you're charging your phone overnight, then this should be fine. He's turned to the halls. The vigil behind and across from them. Yeah, as long as it's like USB is power limited on the delivery on the like first port compared to the like on the first port in the chain. So if you're plugging it into like a USB power brick, that power brick is never going to draw more power than it can give. If you're gonna plug it into a computer, the computer is never going to give more power than it can draw, right? It has its own fail safes. Okay. He strode the halls with vigilance behind him. Halls with the vigilance across from them. Across from them. Floated in a full inhuman visage. An army of vampire array behind him. Okay. Then we're doing that. Harkon began to monologue. But Jin was having that. Shifting the weapon into his hands. A beam light shone out into existence. Okay. 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 It was as though the sun itself was brought into this several and many of the vampires at the center the simply fatal as the sheer might of ooh, nice. see something. Okay. Yeah. Art is art, regardless of what medium it takes. Sure, my confusion can. The video. Out from clearing, say, engaging as the elements weapon cycling as vampire as the monstrous figure unfortunately. Then part on left. New action. The fusion cannon. Fusion. The fusion cannon had too much of lead time to be useful as anything other than an alpha strike against such creature and disappeared into his as he learns as his form seemed to fade away around Parkom's up around the okay. As around the vampires, around the master vampire's claw. From seemingly nowhere, powerful blow rocked the side of the okay. 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 For assuming no power browser, creature, sending Greens of red attempted to land a blow. 1 second. Okay, just a second. Oh, sure. Okay. From seemingly nowhere, powerful blow. Harkon seemed to splash into a orb of mist. That would not be enough to save. Not to be enough to save. Okay. Okay. Harkon seemed to splash into an orb of bloody mist, but that would not be enough. Despite his intent. Jim. spinning, kick rocked through his, rocked through his, form. Say, land, into his form. Seemingly ripped, from whatever enchantment. So he, was using, Harkon, Harkon, but, caught himself. Okay. Caught himself in the air. Caught himself in the air. Of crimson energy snapped, into place around the empire. Oddly enough. Jim commented, as he once again, aimed the fusion cannon. Nick. Things, for a moment, people, the warriors stared, in confusion as the, strange metal instrument, hummed and began to glow. And then a beam of light shone into it. Itself into existence through the sun. As not you would. Genocide. Yes, but I'm not interested in being a bitch boy. For uh, this. And with that, the loss of energy once more crash through the battlefield. The for a brief instant, it seemed as though the shield was going to hold. Perhaps, but I'm not interested in being a bitch boy for what's his face. Here. VSP spells. Alteration. Oh, actually, that makes more sense than what I was thinking of doing. Okay. What's the alteration? What's alteration plus his name? Tolfdir. Oh, Tolfdir, perfect. Tolfdir. Let's see. Tolfdir. Set. Yada 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 yada. Tolf. You know what's his face? Harkon. Was engulfed. Plasma. Hinge. Partially. Away. Onto the ground. With the fall. Ground. With the fall of their leader. Ooh, what you have for dinner? The other vampires. They tried to rout. Oh, nice. They tried to rout. But the Warren of which ways that work? Sounds cool. Nice. Okay. Okay. His broken form partially burned away and collapsed onto the ground. Said burned away, collapsed onto While their leader, the other vampires broke. They tried to rout with a warring of passageways that made up their castle. Worked against them. The entire penned in and okay. Okay. penned in and hunted. Down the overwhelming force of vigilant only so and summon flame action. Hmm. Meant that the as they continue to search the place of edge, look eventually finding her. Okay. As they continue to search the place, June look around eventually fine. Finding what's her face? So, is there? Do you have? Yes. Well, immediate. I was hoping for to grow berries. Alchemy. And given this place is very remote, I was wondering for anything different. What's her face? Serrana. Yes. Ooh, nice. Yada 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 yada. Okay, yeah, it'll eat somewhere in here. We are still searching. What we not have. So slow. You will likely not have much business here. So, once we have clear here. You are free to do as you wish. Archon. What's that? You. Oh. Yep. So I assume if that's the way you prefer working, then more power to you. Let me think. Yeah, or you can scan it. I guess that depends. I guess there are a lot of apps that'll do like handwriting recognition and stuff. On through by himself the way out of the being smoking and visibly he lost, so he sent streamers of red energy towards nearest target, withering the vigilant into say in moments. Covered in ash. Visibly healing. Harpon descended into his more. That sucks. Harkon descended to Harkon. Harkon's transformation continued. Punch over even more bestial. Let's see. He split into. I mean, it's more difficult, but a lot of foods are fine. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the food, right? Soup is probably going to be quite annoying, but if it's like a wrap or like a protein bar or like anything that's like in more or less one piece, a sandwich, that should be fine. Beef cuisine? Do you mean like a lean cuisine? Into bats descending into. Yeah. Actually, I should change this from fusion cannon to the flare cannon. Just do, if you don't mind going with the Western thing, then just go with a burrito. Um, Burritos are probably fairly easy. They are canon. Uh, Descending. Say, descend upon a vampire and vigilant, as urgent, chased after. A steak would be fairly easy. Steak, maybe like if he's blind and they're not and they're like actively accounting for that, wraps like some kind of mashed potatoes, maybe even uh like veal medallions, anything that's like big chunks that are easy to maneuver. uh, oh yeah, this is for the Power Rangers sort of thing that you were working on. Yeah. So wontons, uh, dim sum of all kinds. Honestly, even like a lot of stir fry, as long as it's mostly meat, should be fine. Like mostly like big edible chunks should be fine. Anything too liquid would probably be difficult, as with anything that's like granular. So rice would probably rice, if it's not sticky, might be a problem. Also depends on what they're using to eat with. Hands will anything you can eat with your hands is probably fine. Mm. Been chased after him. Um, um, Eventually, though, Harkon ran out of. Harkon ran out of easy targets. With each blow, he would reform to try take pot shots at Jin. But But the the martial artist was simply too agile, able to slip between the spikes of ice and beams of necrotic energy. Sanguine. Uh, um, uh, he said, each time, he said, as he reformed, the vigilance did their best to, okay. Okay. As he reformed, the visions did their best to escape the area, driving, leaving the vampires to try and aid Archon. But unlike their master, they had no particular defense against being set on fire. Uh, uh, the sudden focus meant that they landed few hits as lances of ice sprayed against ice against nimbus eroded around his head. And spikes of psionic, no worries, of telekinetic force stabbed into the various to various casters. Um, though even as he. Okay. As he took down, took down several combatants. Jim said, it was hard, too thin. Sacrificing in order to regain. Hoping to overwhelm Jim with the sudden onslaught of with a sudden onslaught of magical. Magical attacks. For a moment, it seemed with Jim force, dodge, and weave between ball and claws and beams of crimson. Ooh. You gonna write it up? Don't worry. You can use OpenOffice or Google Docs, and they have pretty good spell checks and whatnot. Uh, um, Gym. But as soon as an opening provided, he struck thunderous chapter. Okay, that's a long ways off. I believe that's the first case of thunderous rumble echoed through the room as echoed through the room as blow after blow rocked harpons, shattering foam and shattering foam. Archon flew back barely. Conscious enough to barely, not barely conscious enough to project his shield in a desperate attempt to but it was for naught. The flare cannon Ryan as Harkon eyes frantically flicked across the room for some out of the situation. It fired. Even more feeble for the damage done to him. The shield almost immediately broke. Shattered. Collapsed. And Harkon tried to But even with the regeneration, even with the regeneration, he was not yet long enough to escape the arc, the wave of plasma that impacted his. Ow, ow. Blech. Still, once we have clear, I believe this is even outside the land's claim. The was the island was actually fairly large. with plenty of land even beyond this castle. They were currently okay. It was tiny. Compare say with the surrounding thing landmass. So perhaps large enough for tackle. If you though perhaps not very large, you know. But the biggest, but hey. They continue to search several days with warriors patrol. So with flame astronauts patrolling the shores in order to ensure that they will shores in order to ensure that they would never be to ensure that none of the dozens of thralls and slaves hundreds of thralls and slaves were found in the depths of the dungeons under a wooden castle. What's his face? Castle something or the other. Castle book here. Depths of the dungeons. Under. But, eventually, the place was deemed clear. With, properly corrected. After with properly with a properly well, eventually the place was deemed clear. Was properly isolated location finally available to him. The first thing that Jin did once he had cleared out the vigilance was to relocate Dari and their cadres and his cadre of students onto the island, as well as many engineers. Ooh, nice. Do you post it in Discord? Oh, let's see. It's a nice little snippet. On partner dead, no. There's only 3 people left on the long tail of diary. Okay. No, you did it fine. It's a nice little snippet. I can see some bits where it would be better to space it out. You can see that if I copy your lines here into this, you can see how big your paragraph is compared to what I'm writing, right? So breaking it up so that it is more, so that it is separate, so that it is separate, helps to manage the pace of the story and like gives some breathing room for people who are reading it, as well as no worries. Plus, once it's broken up, you can also see the parts where you can expand on things so that it like flows better. This is this feels very like this happened and this happened and this happened and this happened and this happened, right? It feels faster. It feels like a bit too fast, especially for the scene that's happening. No worries, no worries. It's just like like I'm trying to give constructive feedback. But if you can give me constructive feedback on my feedback as well. Um, uh, the castle. Real victory. However, were the docks, as they could be used to begin the production of floating green that would allow for far more production. No worries. I don't know. Would normally be able to. Dari had vetoed the actual destructive said the actual demolition the castle. Apparently detecting so apparently there was a great deal of historical lore. He intended to properly study it first. Yeah, I think that's part of it. It feels like you're trying to summarize a couple, like maybe 3 or 4 comic pages. Maybe 2 if we account for the pictures. Lore then, as well as something heavily protected. Deep within the catacombs. Below. We intended to properly study it first. Gary had waited the actual demolition of the castle. Many of the rooms. Many of the rooms were the personal workshops of mages that had honed their skills over the course of centuries. Of mages that and filled with numerous magical artifacts and local arcane lore. The sheer let's say sheer bulk of say the sheer size of the castle. Not to mention that. Not to mention the seemingly endless warrant of catacombs under the castle itself. So you can see how I expanded on this fight, right? Previously, this fight was basically it was basically from this entire part was missing, right? Yeah, this entire part was missing, right? In this fight, what I did was I broke down the action. So, for example, you have this part where it is, you talk about Archie, despite being blind, is handling his meal quite well. Instead of saying that, you can describe it. You can say that without looking at his plate, without seeing his plate, Archie easily easily pierced a chunk of meat on his plate and brought it up, speared a piece of meat and brought it up to his mouth, or something like that. You break it up into paragraphs, see where like each thing is, and then you expand on that. You give more detail. Attempts at ground were difficult to Due to the amount of voids and voids crossing the space beneath. Any exploration was fairly unsafe, anyways. As as numerous traps experimenting new quote, so yeah, new turnstile, hoping that the more dynamic approach will be interesting. Okay. Okay. Any exploration was fairly unsafe as numerous traps and numerous traps were numerous traps says even the vigilant had been willing to consider the catacombs the catacombs cleared after the first few floors. Traps, secret passageways, and numerous. Okay. Traps, secret passageways, and numerous creatures. Fill the dungeons. Hopefully. Still, an additional ground on the source for cleared up the first few floors. Alongside sciences, so alongside the more ethical sciences was research into the metaphysical continued apace. Okay. Alongside continued apace. The supply of reagents from Archon were enough. Provided useful training tools and effective powerful sources of magic to okay. Okay. For to explore other variety, other capabilities, a variety of options that would not normally be available to um we had hundreds of mages capable of casting spells and enchanting, even with more mundane sources of and Jin himself was no longer a limit on hyperdrives capable hyperdrives capable resultant hyperdrive still far slow capable of transporting ESO no longer. He was still needed for no. ESO. Okay. I'm transporting ESO. Though, the enchantments involved, still made it quite troublesome. Retraining, without an easy source of, pure essence, like the heron, was, troublesome, even for teams working together. Nearly every citizen of Demo was a key adept. The broader benefits of learning to enhance oneself was too much of a benefit for it not to spread among the populace like wildfire. That said, I'll say few. Only those that spent time amongst the hollow ones. 30,000, so I'll say about 1,000. But they had nearly 1,000 mages capable of casting spells and enchanting. And more, I'll say, and more and far more that were capable of alchemy. Jin himself is no longer limited to hyperdrives, capable of transfer EZO, as from the input teams working together. Nearly every citizen of Daimon was a key adept. The broader benefits of learning to enhance oneself was simply too much of a benefit not to spread amongst the populace like wildfire. That said, only those that spent time amongst the Hollow Ones, say, were martial artists. So, had trained in the martial arts. Instead, instead, they leave focus. Instead, they mainly focused on instead. Okay. Instead, they developed key techniques for all cipher every possible part. Cooking, uh, cooking, cooking, cleaning, um, cooking, cleaning, building, even research, was, off the table. The cultivation of one's personal essence was difficult uh, without a convenient source such as the heron, or spending time on. Okay. Uh, New research was augmented as they are spending time on Nern. And it was one of the areas that was the least, and it was perhaps the esoteric art known to the people of Dema. That was that the least developed. That's not to say that there weren't those that had come along. So it had progressed a great deal. Ooh, nice. But yeah, I'm just writing. I updated the quest earlier. I'm just writing a little bit. Probably going to go for another half an hour, 45 minutes, and then drop off. Yeah. Okay. That's not to say that there weren't those that had progressed a great deal. Magic. It was only due to the fact that he had started well before the others that many of those still stationed on Archon on what was being called Snowdrop Island. So many of those stationed on long term had taken advantage of the ready supply of essence from Magnus to grow their own personal power. Personal power. When they weren't on based in Castle Archon, when they weren't occupied by other tasks. The supply of reagents from what was now being called Snowdrop Island. Some such as to people on what was being called low magic world. They had nearly 1,000 mages capable of casting spells and enchanting. They now had nearly 1,000 mages, even with more mundane sources of essence, and far more that were capable of lesser feats, such as alchemy. Jin himself was no longer a limit on hyperdrives, capable of transporting the enchantments. Nearly every single even research was augmented by key. However, however, there had been some interesting discoveries as a result, and experimenting with using reagents as a source essence to empower themselves. Okay. Ooh. There have been some interesting discoveries as a result, and including merging the how it made the key projection skill that Rama had picked up significantly easier and accelerated progress. Significantly easier and how they had managed cure the blast that you managed cure key projection without the emotional component. They. Okay. However, psionics had been something of a mixed bag, even with dozens. So even with um, uh, those who had gone. It seemed that um, however, while the extraction, several psychics from the from XCOM following the increased the increasing restrictions on their freedom meant that they actually had quite a rich understanding of psionic techniques and training. The sheer time it took to the sheer time it took to the sheer time it took to awaken people, not to mention the the various hallucinogens and other substances involved in the process meant that they only had few hundred across their entire they only had a few hundred across their population. It was actually reason for their latest major project. An enormous station was being enormous station was being built in this in the interstellar space outside um, covenant sensor technology. Hello. Oh, nice. I knew that such a thing should exist. Long range. Okay, that will make sense. Outside of UEG space. Built around a large dark energy tap. Energy tap. It would be a fully it would serve as a was built around a large dark energy permanent installation where the where the properties of this universe could be used to aid in the culture. So in the of psionic. The every psychic available to them would under construction in the interstellar space in the interstellar void. Not far beyond the edge of UEG space. Built around a large dark energy tap, it would serve as a permanent installation. Had been infusing enough psionic had been infusing the environment with as much power as possible, in the hopes of producing an area that would be used as possible in order to like several weeks in meditation, in order uh, in order to emulate the effects of the sonic sun core recovered sonic core recovered from the alien bases. With that, it would mean that the places under construction had the test bays, small basic craft that had been the test ships, small basic craft that had been served as a proof concept, showed that the treatment would permit people within the permit people in the area to awaken their psionic potential and even grow it. Awaken and even grow it. Even begin to grow it in under a week. Already waiting lists for the first 1,000, say for under a week. Actual already waiting lists for the first 5,000. Of simple meditation. Simple guided meditation. and basic psionic exercises. Already waiting lists for the first 5,000 seats. So the intent was for the first 5,000 spots on the station were full, and system had to be put in place to allow repeated visits for additional growth. Growth and research on the persistent side. However, those had found that the added capability is extremely useful. Not only was telepathic communication extremely, not only did telepathic communication ensure privacy, but it also allow easy communication in loud areas, and vastly reduced the chance of misunderstanding. A group of researchers that had undergone the process together had discovered that maintaining sonic lines of communication had sort of vastly improved their research abilities, as the complex concepts that were hard, say, as even innocuous points of insight were easily differing perspectives could be communicated. Disseminated different perspectives communicated in an instant. Not too. Especially the reason for their latest project, an enormous distance out. With all the progress that had been achieved so far, finally felt safe to once again seek out a new world. Rather than something specific. With four ring of ring. Okay. With a flight of strike craft in the hold he set out. Rather than something specific, he let the herald choose. And a team of okay. And a team of air tanks. In the cabin. The world he appeared over was definitely Earth, though compared to Cipher. Okay. Oh god, that is trash. Okay, let's see. Yada 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 yada. Original timeline. Timeline overview. Yada yada yada. 18 born dead. Silverhand is born. Yada 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 yada. Biotechnica. Eurodollar. I just want to check when, say, if the other one is. I know Crystal Palace is Crystal Palace. Like range points, only 1. Parasite. Rider. Okay, that's fine. So I know Crystal Palace was Crystal Palace was in orbital air. Open. Okay. Finals in 2011. Okay, that's a long time ago. Johnson Space Platform link. What's this? Johnson Space Platform, Earth low orbit. I want the one that's around Saturn. Okay. Orbital transfer vehicle, yada 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 yada. It's Crystal Palace. I think it doesn't exist. NASA. Okay. Okay, so it's okay. It's a mystery right now. So they're still basically just in Earth orbit, maybe a bit on Mars. Just confirm that. Let me think. We're actually running out of time though. Okay, I'll go over this tomorrow then.